A's Extra.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. Game 22 of the Chatham A's season on tap. Back home again. Chatham takes on the Brewster Whitecaps. It's time for the Manager's Show. I'm Jake Klein with the Chatham skipper, Dennis Cook. Dennis, you get the 4-2 win last night here at Veterans Field against Wareham. What did you make of that effort?
I thought we pitched really well. Bino had a great night, drove in a bunch of runs. I thought it was a good game. We played well.
Mentioned Bino Waters, 3 more RBIs last night. He's up there at the top again with Rob Rispoli. What has that duo meant as so much of the rest of the roster has changed?
It's nice having people that you trust and know at the top of the lineup. They're going to show up and play hard every day and give you a good effort and compete. Like you said, with the roster turning over, sometimes we get guys in there we don't know what we're going to get. So at least we know the 2 of the 9 are going to be ready to play.
A great effort out of your bullpen. Terry Hayes Jr. goes 4 1/3 scoreless. What did you see from Terry?
Tons of strikes, mixed well, has some put-away pitches in his breaking ball. It was nice, and we stretched him out, so we're going to try to get him a start next week.
So he gives up his first hit with 1 out to go in the game, and you wasted no time going to the bullpen after that. You got Collins Black in there, and he strikes out the hitter on 3 pitches. What made you feel like you needed to make that move at that point?
Well, they're 1 swing away from tying the game, and he's pitched so well, I didn't want to give him the opportunity to have that happen. Just a new arm. Collins is fresh, and those are the best situations for him, so we just thought it was the best matchup.
Couple more newcomers that we haven't hit on yet. You've got Tate Carey back. He was a little bit limited because of injury at Michigan this past spring. What do you expect Tate to bring in his return to Chatham in 2026?
I think he's going to be just as like he was last year. He's going to attack the strike zone with his fastball. Breaking ball has improved, and I trust him. That's why we wanted to bring him back. I trust him. I know he's going to be ready to pitch when his name's called, and that's another reason why we recruit a lot of freshmen. So we know the next year who guys we can bring back and trust, and if they have good years, we can bring them back, and we know what we're getting.
How do you plan to use Tate?
We're going to probably use him out of the bullpen in short stints, just for the first few times out to build him up, and then hopefully by the end of the summer, either extend him long or start him.
Have you had the chance to watch him throw yet? I know last summer you guys worked a lot on developing a curveball for him. Have you had the chance to see it?
No. He was warming up last night, and I was speaking down there. But, of course, we had a game going on, so I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it.
One of the other new guys in the lineup today is Cam Pruitt from Lipscomb, one of the players that you teased would be coming in over the last couple of days. Got him at second base tonight. What do you expect to see out of Cam Pruitt?
I've never seen Cam play. So it's gonna be a surprise to all of us. I think he'll get out and compete hard, though. That's what I've heard about him, and it is what it is, and we're gonna throw him out there and see what he can do.
When you have these players and you're just putting them in the lineup, and you're learning like the rest of us what they may bring to the team, how does that make you feel?
A little nervous, honestly, but we might find a diamond in the rough. So somebody that can extend our lineup, and we don't ask a lot of them. We ask them to go out there and play hard and compete. And if they do that, I think good things will happen. But like we talked about yesterday, the tryout period is a very short period right now because we don't have a whole lot of season left. And we need to make sure for the organization's sake, that we're putting the best players on the field and the best players we can get into town to give us a chance to make the playoffs and make a run.
Chatting with Dennis Cook on the Manager Show. The A's and the Brewster Whitecaps coming up in just a couple of moments. You mentioned there the chance to get into the playoffs, the chance to make a run. I know you're not often paying too close attention to the standings and things like that, but another East Division matchup tonight. To what degree are you monitoring teams in front of you, teams behind you in the standings?
I'm not. We still got 19 games, so we still got half a season. I won't start worrying about that till the last week.
Is there a specific point in the season where you feel like the way you're managing a game might change based on standings or need to win or something like that? When it starts getting closer to the end, maybe so.
But, we're not going to really change our approach. Our approach is going to be like we talk about every day. We're going to show up at the ballpark. We're going to compete every pitch of every at-bat of every inning, on both on offense and defense. And that approach is never going to change. That's just the way we're going to play.
Second day in a row without Armani Guzman in the lineup. I know he had a couple of errors at second base the other night, but he's also on base at over 500. What's gone into that decision?
Armani is at home for the draft, so it'd be hard to put Armani in the lineup in New York City. So we're waiting to see if Armani gets drafted and signs. If not, he's probably going to come back and be in the lineup.
How often are you talking to players who have left Chatham that may or may not come back?
Well, Armani's the only one that's left that's got an opportunity to come back. The rest of them are done.
Chatting with Dennis Cook here before the A's and the Brewster Whitecaps. Last question for you, Dennis. I was talking to Jamie Shevchek, the Brewster manager, a couple moments ago. He was talking about just the state of the Cape League right now, the strain that the roster management, the ins and outs have put on organizations and host families. What do you make of the Cape League right now?
I agree with Jamie. Jamie's done it a whole lot longer than I have, and he's seen probably a whole lot more changes than I have. So I'll defer all of that to him, but I do agree, it is a strain on the host families. You don't want to create a situation where the host families are basically a bed and breakfast. They're in for a week, out for a week, get new kids coming in, new kids coming out. There's no relationships built. So it is a problem. We try our best here not to do that, to bring a lot of them in. When I was hired, Steve hired me. That was a point that he made that, we want to try to keep the transactions down. And I agree with him, but there does come a point in the time where, you need to move players around if winning is important. And, I want to win. I'm not a results-driven manager, but it is nice to win. I feel a lot better and I sleep a lot better when we do win. But, we got to have players in here to help.
There's Dennis Cook on the Manager Show. Chatham and Brewster coming up. Dennis, as always, thanks for the time.
Thank you.